Man, at this point, y'all, like, I don't think me and consoles are going to be together much more longer because the more and more that I have this PS5 Pro, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to cut to the chase and tell you right now, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Save whatever money you thought you were going to save up, or that console that you got, you think you're going to make that jump from the 5 to the Pro PS5, save your money. Because the more and more that I use this damn console, I'm really starting to get frustrated with how it's just performing. So let me just start from the beginning. Now, when I first got the PS5 Pro, everything was cool, right? Everything was cool. You know, I didn't really notice too much more of a jump in performance. But if you're one of the ones that likes to play like The Last of Us and stuff like that, the games that are made like specifically on that console, those are the ones that are pretty much taking advantage of the PS5 Pro power. Now it is powerful, more powerful than the base PS5 to a degree. So I'm not going to argue that point. But the more and more that I'm starting to, the more and more that I use this console, I'm just watching it just deteriorate right in front of me. Now, what I mean by that is it's now getting to the point where my headsets are no longer being recognized. If they're not being recognized, they're now cutting out every few seconds because for some godforsaken reason, somebody over there at Sony decided to remake the PS5 Pro and take all the USBs that were in the front on the base PS5 and move those to the back. And the ones that were in the front now are USB Cs in the front. For some god awful reason, y'all decided to move them to the back where there's all this heat being pumped out from the back of this console. Knowing the fact that it's pushing out all this horsepower and the power and the heat that comes out the back of that console, now you move those USBs to the back. The only way that a lot of these headsets are being able to be connected are via the USB, the USBs in the back. Those you're able to connect with those. Now, at first, it was cool. It wasn't a problem. Now, where I have it at, it dissipates the heat very well. It's not a hot box per se. It's none of that. Like I really have it in a well ventilated spot. Now, in the back, I had it plugged up and it was totally fine. Then it went from it being plugged in the back because I had to post 3D headphones. I had those at first once it came to PS5. I ran with those for a little bit. Then eventually got to a point where they started cutting out. So then I went and got a USB C to USB A extender or some whatever you want to call it, and I plugged that in the front, and then I was able to plug on my dongle like that in the front, and it worked. But for some reason it still cut out. So I said, okay, fine, whatever. Fast forward through all of that, I eventually ended up getting the Astro A50 Lightspeed headphones. This is like years after, right? I didn't have the Skull Candy ones. I didn't had the Pulse Elite headphones. I had those. I done had a lot of headphones. Now, currently, what I have now is like I said, the Astro A50 Lightspeed headphones, which they're good. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, they're to a degree they're fine. You know what I mean? Because this is actually my second pair. The first one I had, the lightning strike came through, knocked all the power out of the house, and ended up shorting it out. So this is like my replacement pair. So these worked perfectly fine. I had no issue with them up until today. Today, that the moment that I'm recording right now, I'm literally having an issue with it. Now all of a sudden, when I plug it up to my console, again, I'm plugging it up in the back. I plug it to my console. Now all of a sudden, my console won't allow it to stay connected. It keeps disconnecting every 2-3 seconds, and now it just won't connect at all. Period. I done plugged it up to my PC. I don't have no problem with it. I tried to double check and make sure that there was no update that needed to be updated on it or anything like that. Everything was totally fine. My PC picks it up perfectly fine. There's no cutouts, no nothing. I've taken it and plugged it in the front with the USB-C, the USB-A thing. I plugged that up in the front, still nothing. I've changed around the different settings. Like bro, my back is against the wall at this point. Like like I don't even want to play the game at this point. And I know that sounds really like pretentious, and I know that sounds really like, I guess, spoiled and kind of bratty. But you got to understand when you get something that costs, what is it like? Uh, when you get something that costs well above the base level price for the PS5, when you get something like that's supposed to be quote unquote the Pro, you're supposed to get every dollar that you paid for it. You understand what I'm saying? When you get something that's a Pro, you're expecting the top of the top notch. You understand what I'm saying? But you take the design of the Pro or the PS5, the base level. You take the design of that, you rework it to where now you move the USBs that are commonly mostly used, you move those to the back where all the heat is, and then you take what you had in the front and make those USB-Cs like that's the only thing that's going to be utilized. Like as if USB-As aren't still being used. Like in what world was that a great idea? You know what I mean? In the back, I got my external hard drive plugged up. I'm running that. And then also I got, my headset plugged up. It wasn't a problem up until this moment in time. I'm talking to y'all about it right now. I didn't have a problem with it. But I'm just frustrated because why are you guys charging all this money for these bullshit consoles and y'all are putting out shit? Y'all got the nerve to raise the prices of these consoles, but you won't raise the quality of your product. You won't raise it. So you mean to tell me that there's $100 to $150, maybe $200 uptick in getting these consoles, but you won't increase the product quality of them? The quality of the product, I mean. You won't increase that, but you'll increase the baseline prices. Bro, this is the last console I'm ever fucking buying for the rest of my life. I know this is going to sound really head ass and this is going to sound really stupid, but this is why I got me a PC. This is why I got a PC. This is why I'm no longer going to invest any more money into the console side. I'm done. I'm 100% done. I don't care if there's a PS6 coming out. I don't care if there's an Xbox 720. Whatever they decide to call these next consoles that are coming out, I am done. I am finished because you guys consistently just decide to fuck over the consumer every single year. I am fucking pissed. I am pissed off right now because I didn't have a problem with it before in the past, and then now all of a sudden everything just comes crashing down and there's no fix for it. It's just pretty much, oh, well, you're SOL. The only thing I got to do at this point, ladies and gentlemen, is run everything wired. And I hate running shit wired. I hate it. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally as less wires as possible type of guy. I hate running shit wired. I hate it so fucking much. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you had that freedom to have everything wireless and everything work flawlessly, you don't want to go back to the wire days. You remember like the PS3 and the Xbox 360 days where you had to run the wire to the back of the TV, and then you had to hook up the AV cables back here, and then for the gaming headset you had to plug up those cables back there to make it connect, and then bam, that's your gaming headset. Do you remember how cluttered and nasty that shit looked? Do you remember how much of a hassle it was to put it together? And then like you didn't really give a damn about how the cable management looked. You just hoped that everything was connected and it was working. Now that we actually have the freedom of Bluetooth and everything and the freedom of having everything wireless, why would you want to go back to wire and everything? You see what I'm saying? I'm just over Sony with this bullshit. Like Sony, you have literally like, as a long time consumer and customer, you literally have lost me with this PS5 Pro. Ladies and gentlemen, do not buy the PS5 Pro. I'm just telling you this now. Like out the box, I give it maybe a couple months. You'll enjoy it. You'll be happy the fact that you even got a PS5 Pro. You feel like you got the more power, this, that, and third. And it is a more powerful version than the base PS5. It definitely is. But I will say this: over time, you will start to see it deteriorate. You're going to see things happen to this console that are going to frustrate you to the point where you're gonna be like, "Damn, I knew I should never bought this damn console. I should never bought this shit." Like that is where I'm at with it right now. Sony, I will never buy another console from you ever again. I am done with these consoles because this shit makes it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. I'm done. I'm pissed, man. I don't even know what else to say.